Bill, when you were down 12 in the first half, what were you thinking?
Oh, I thought this could get ugly really fast. I thought it was already ugly. I don't think they shot the ball unbelievably well by any stretch early, but we didn't shoot it at all, and we played tight, and they had all momentum. So I don't know what the biggest deficit was at 12, but the game for us, the key part of the game for us was the last 5 minutes to get it to 5 at halftime, to play that poorly and go 0 for 8. I think we were like 3 of 6 from the free throw line, and got it to 5, and then Josh's 2-3 start the second half took it off, and we were pretty good after that.
Bill, you did some things strategically there, but I do wonder how much, just mentally, what you have to do to keep them from getting flustered in a situation like this. There's a lot of things going on, and you guys are a little depleted. What do you do?
I think sometimes when you're a little bit depleted, at least as you say, I think a lot of times that creates more focus. We don't switch defenses much, and we did tonight more than we have in a long time. And I thought our guys were pretty focused, and we made some mistakes in what we were trying to do, but I thought for the most part they executed pretty well.
Coach, how important was it for your ball club to have the experience they had to go against this ball club, and to know how rough it is, tough it is to win on the road? Winning in this building against this club is how satisfying for you and your players.
Well, it's very satisfying to win. I told our team this, prepping for the game. I mean, this is an important game, but it's not as important as our game on Wednesday, and it's not as important as our game last Tuesday. But it's kind of like if you go to an AAU tournament, it's kind of like the showcase game. And there's a showcase game, and you win or lose, no big deal. It doesn't affect the bracket, and that's kind of what I thought about this game. Of course, I know it means a lot to the fans of both schools, and certainly there's a lot of tradition on the line. But I thought our experience, to answer your question, Frank and Devontae, and Josh plays much older than his years, and Spee and Landon. I thought those guys played with pretty good poise down the stretch. Really good.
Bill, talk about your success to your right. Your success off turnovers. You won that battle 21-7. That's plus 14 is a ton of points with two teams of this caliber.
Yeah, I don't know if sometimes I think stats are very misleading because points off turnovers, if I'm not mistaken, if they walk or they throw it out of bounds, and then we luck in a shot at the end of the shot clock on the next possession, it's points, off turnovers. And so I don't think that's fair to really say that, because whenever they did turn it over some, they had 17, and that's probably a pretty high number for them, and we had 12, which is probably about average, but that's something that we haven't been good at. West Virginia, it was certainly flipped on us, so that was good to see.
Bill, how key was Landon and Dwight inside to kind of compete with them?
Well, he's a monster, and he got off to a good start, and Landon got a foul like on the first or second possession or third, and he got 2 early, so that was kind of hard. But I thought Landon played very smart, not to, he fouled out, but he wasn't really in foul trouble because his 4th and 5th came so late. And Dwight and Mitch, although they didn't play a ton of minutes, they gave us enough of bodies to kind of, lay on Bam. And although I still thought Bam had a good game, but it seemed like to me he scored more than 3 baskets, thinking back. So we did do a pretty good job on him. Neither team shot free throws worth a flip, though. I mean, we could have won the game easily, or they could have probably won the game. Just if either team could step up to the line and make free throws.
Bill, you mentioned Josh's 2 threes in the second half, and then he was 4 for 4 against West Virginia. He had all those. He helped you guys out on the glass. I mean, in what ways is his game growing?
Well, I think that's one area. He's made 8 his last 3 games, and at above 50%. So I think that's an area that's getting better. And of course, if he makes shots, then you got to guard him. The third open look he had, he lifted him and got inside of him, and I think got fouled. But that's something that he's worked hard on, and I think it is evolving nicely. I thought he was really good tonight. I thought he got his hands on loose balls. I thought he rebounded great. The offensive rebound put back late was a huge play, and to me, he's a complete basketball player. He's one of the few guys out there that can do a little bit or a lot of everything.
Coach, when you've been around guys like this for so many years, 3, 4, 5 years, it may be difficult to learn more about them, but did you learn more about them tonight, especially your veterans?
I think so. The thing about it is, everybody goes through ebbs and flows in a season. And so we were poor. We were bad against West Virginia, and we could have still got beat, but I thought we were a fragmented team. And if you got 2 veteran guards and you're fragmented, then somebody intangible-wise isn't doing what they could potentially be doing. So I thought I told them, I said, that happens with all teams. I mean, it's going to happen at some point in time, so you've got to learn from it. And I thought that we showed extreme upperclassmen leadership tonight, and I thought we played pretty tough.
Coach, on your right. Coach. Right over here. You talked a little bit about how you don't like to change defenses, but that zone seemed to really slow them down. How vital was that for a team that can get up and down and score in transition like Kentucky?
I think it was important that I don't know if it's important in transition defense as much, but maybe, but certainly being able to shade Malik and eliminate him scoring off screens, those sorts of things. I thought that, we're not, obviously, there's not going to be any educational tapes on that zone tonight. But I do think we played it pretty well. And I do think we kind of shaded shooters and did a pretty good job with it. So it helped us. We would not have won the game unless we switched up.
Bill,
Hey,
I know there may not be any educational tapes on it, but how much have you guys practiced that coming into this game? How confident did you feel going to that?
Well, I think you can practice a lot, but it's hard to have confidence if you never do it. But I think we practiced it quite a bit, and we went triangle and 2 for a few possessions, and we practiced that quite a bit, and that was all part of our strategy. But none of that stuff looks very good, triangle and 2, if Willis goes 5 of 6 from 3. So we were hoping if that's 2 of 6, then we stay in it and it looks good. But I thought Cal did a good job of trying to get in personnel to combat that and kind of kept us out of it, because I feel more confident with our combination defense than I actually do our zone.
Got a couple more guys.
Bill, coming into the game, Kentucky's record under John at home was 129-5. I'm wondering how that number would play on your mind and how much satisfaction to get the win here.
To be honest, I don't read the Wildcats notes. I had no idea it was 125 or 129-5. I had no idea, and so I didn't think about anything other than just playing them. I know that I've been here 3 times now, and once we got handled pretty easily when I was at Tulsa, but we actually won a big game here when Simeon broke his hand and didn't play, and Langford finished the game with a concussion, wasn't out there, and so I know the building's a good building, and I know tonight it was amped up and those sorts of things. But our guys like playing in this side. If we could play in an atmosphere like this every game, every player would love this, whether it be home or away.
Bill, you alluded to Josh in that late putback. What does it say about a freshman and his physical maturity and his competitive will when he can rip a ball away from a senior and make the play that sort of clinched the win?
Yeah, I won't get into ripping the ball away from us. Sometimes in sports things happen. You don't have a good grip. Well, who knows what the deal was? But I will say this: he's very competitive and he's active and he has a nose for the ball. And when Josh was recruited, and I think everybody that follows high school basketball, he was recruited with his best intangible was that he was his activity level. I mean, and how competitive he was. It wasn't how well he shot it or how well he drove it or how well he passed it. It was his competitive spirit, and I think that right there played into who he is.